Yes, yes, yes. So, last night we had some exciting games played, very down to the wire, close games, upsets, near upsets. Let's talk about the first game, the Atlanta Dream and Indiana Fever. Now, Atlanta Dream was the top seed over the Fever. Fever was one of the lower seeds who kind of squeaked in the playoffs. And so the first game, Atlanta crushed them. Then the second game, the Fever crushed them. So now we come down to the third and final game, which was played in Atlanta. And, the Dream, has a pretty good home field advantage. The crowd is hype. The court and the atmosphere is small. So I'm thinking maybe they can win. I don't know. And late in the fourth quarter, the Dream actually had a lead, but costly mistakes on defense, bad shots once again dooming them in. So let me share my screen. So the Indiana Fever squeaked out an 87-85 victory over the Dream. The Dream still had a chance to win at the end. I don't know what's going on with the inbounds call. Um, you didn't put in Brittany Griner to inbound the ball or even have a taller player to inbound the ball. You decided to go with Ryan Howard, who's a good player, but uh, I think she cost them the game. Bad slot selection when they had the lead, and Alicia Gray down the stretch was kind of non-existent. So let's see what the Dream had. So their big players, Brianna Jones, played 32 minutes, had 12 points. Nas Hillman played 40 minutes, only had 9 points. And Alicia Gray had 19 points, and she played 33 minutes, but down the stretch, you didn't see a lot of her. Jordan Canada had 18 points, and Ryan Howard had 16 points. So it looked pretty balanced. But the problem is, where was Alicia Gray and Jordan Canada? Because let's be real here. Jordan Canada is one of the fastest players in the league. When she get the ball and drive to the basket, good things happen. I think they stopped doing it. With the having Jordan Canada with the ball in her hands for some reason, the ball was not moving. Um, Atlanta Dream always have a problem with taking bad shots, not being patient with the shot clock, and not taking advantage of some of the things that was successful, which was Jordan Canada speed, um, going down the middle of the lane and then passing for the three. I think they was taking threes out of rhythm. Uh, like it was one play late in the game. I think the Dream was up 1 or 2, and they played pretty good, except 5 seconds on the shot clock, where they let Lexi Hall drive to the lane. Lexi Hall drive to the lane for like a easy layup, the easiest layup you're gonna get. And so the defense broke down late in the game. It looked like they was gonna win the game, even though I know it was gonna be a close game. But they could not get the defensive stops at the end of the game. Uh, they could not. Well, they had bad shot selection, and Ryan Howard once again tried to play hero ball and was shooting bad shots, bad defense assignments from Ryan Howard, and so the Indiana Fever came in. They really don't have anything to lose, and they came in and they had balanced scoring. Uh, Kelsey Mitchell was awesome once again. She was 7-16. She played 35 minutes. She had 24 points. But you get good play from Odyssey Sims. She gave you 16 points. Aaliyah Boston played a lot better. She was 6 from 11, 14 points. So the last 2 games she played a lot better. Natasha Howard played pretty good. Now, bench scoring, mostly all the players off the bench with the exception of Bree Hall, got into the action. Aerial Powers defense on um, Brianna Jones was key, and also Ryan Howard, the way she um, covered the lane, and she had a pretty good, decent game. Michaela Timpson came in, she gave you 5 rebounds. Brianna Turner definitely came in, and yeah, she scored 2 points, but she gave you 2 blocks. So Brianna Turner, the defense of Brianna Turner, Michaela Timpson, and Ariel Powers off the bench really helped. Um, yeah, so Atlanta at the end of the game gave the game away with bad shots. I thought they was gonna win. Say, okay, they'll win this game, and then down the stretch, they just threw up on the floor, basically. you know. And so, with that victory, that was our first upset of the night. Our first upset of the night, and well, first upset in the series in this uh playoffs. Atlanta had home field advantage. Atlanta was a team that could possibly be a playoff contender. You have Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, Nas Hillman. You bring in a veteran like BG. She could use some minutes. Brianna Jones, Jordan Canada, uh, Maya, Pow Pow. So they had a pretty decent team. But the problem is with Atlanta is that they have a tendency to play inconsistent. The two big guards that you have, Alicia Gray, your 2 all-stars, Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard, for some reason cannot put together a game together where they're dominant together. They cannot, uh, they won't, uh, especially Alicia Gray. For some reason, she faded away instead of calling for the ball, um, driving to the basket. They settle for threes a lot. Ryan Howard settled for threes, bad passing. Um, I think maybe Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray experiment should be over. They play the same sort of, kind of, and they seem like they're in each other's way. And you might have to just let them go. And I don't know. Let me share my screen here. So I call them the Gang of Roses. Is it to time to break up the Gang of Roses? Let me share my screen. I'm sorry about that. It's a time to break up the Gang of Roses. And it might be. I think you should keep Alicia Gray and Nas Hillman and kind of move Ryan Howard, because I think they play similar, and it's like sometimes they get in each other's way. And Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray has a tendency to not play together consistently. I think Jordan Canada and Alicia Gray play better, and I think you should move on from them. So, hate to say that, um, kind of a wasted season for them. I thought they had uh, one of the deepest teams in the league, uh, but their coach Semesco was a coach of the year candidate, but for some reason he didn't have the right rotations and the right um, he didn't pull the right lineups for them to get over the hump, and so they lose to a wounded fever, and they just didn't take advantage of the bench. You didn't play my Cowher a lot, Pow a lot. Indiana, their best box impersonation. They played basically everybody, and everybody contribute in some way. Even if it didn't show up in the points, they played defense. They played hard. They played together. They knew their strengths. They went to their strengths, and I think Atlanta did not know how to do that, and that's been hunting them this whole year, up and down. Like this team, what Atlanta Dream team is going to show up? And so the thing that hunted them in the regular season caught up with them in the playoffs, and their inability to recognize when your shot is not falling. What else can I do to help my team win? It's win or go home. What else can I do? Can I play defense? My shot not falling. How do I get to the basket and draw fouls so I can get easy free throws? And so the Dream is sent home to 1-2-3 Cancun. So you will be having a quick vacation and a quick turnaround, and Cancun is for you, or a fishing trip or whatever you're gonna have to go. But you're not gonna stay here in the playoffs. You can stay here, but you gotta go home. You gotta move on. So the first game was very interesting, and then we step into the later game, the Aces and the Storm. And the Aces, I felt in game 2 gave the game away. Shouldn't have been a game 3, but hey, that's life. And so the Aces hung on by 1 point to beat the Storm. Now, once again, Erica Wheeler was a key player in the game. She came in, gave energy. She hit threes. She played defense. And the Aces, well, they had the lead most of the game. They just could not make the lead. They had I think their biggest lead was 8, and they just could not get the Storm out of here. And they kept messing around, and the Storm took the lead. And the Storm could not get the last shot. The Storm could not get the last shot. And once again, the Aces hung on. And the hero for the Aces, even though, of course, Asia Wilson, we're going to talk about that. The hero for the Aces is Jackie Young. Jackie Young had the most thrilling player of the game. Now, Asia Wilson was driving. They was down 1. Asia Wilson took the layup. The layup went in and out. And Jackie Young timed it very perfectly under the basket. Now, Jackie Young was 5'8". She had 3 Storm defenders. And she skied up and all in one motion, put it up, and laid the ball in for them to take the 1-point lead. Let me share my screen. So Jackie Young saved the day. J.O. Look at that. 3 players surrounded her. all are taller than her. And she skies up very confidently and hit the game winning layup. And even Asia Wilson showed that she's a great teammate by saying, you know what? She's a very important piece, and I wouldn't want to play with anybody else. And Jackie Young is unsung hero of the Aces. If she played well or consistent, they win. And what she did. So she played well, and they wind up squeaking out a victory. Whew. So they wind up squeaking out a victory. Yep, there you go. I'm sorry. Wind up squeaking out a victory against the Storm, who the last years, many years they beat. Like they got the Storm number. They have the Storm number. So let me share my screen. And I forgot about this. So let me scroll here. Wow. So since 2022, the Aces has had the Storm number. They beat them in 2022, 24, and 25. They swept them last year. I think the difference they probably would have got swept this year, and people minimize. Um, they minimize the impact of Erica Willer, and I really think Erica Willer really showed that she still got something to prove and something in the tank. So now the Aces play against the Dream. I mean, sorry, the Fever, and it's gonna be a pretty good matchup. Once again, you have Asia Wilson against another Gamecock, Aaliyah Boston. But Asia Wilson earlier, I'm gonna get back to the matchup. Asia Wilson earlier before the game found out that she was defensive player of the year, and she should have been unanimous the defensive player of the year. Um, I like Elena Smith, but that's come on. Asia Wilson had more blocks than Elena Smith and more uh, important blocks head to head against her peers. Her head to head matchups, she won those battles. And so she was defensive player of the year. But still, congratulations to Asia Wilson. She has something to prove. And Asia Wilson was killing Dominique Mononga. And I want to talk about that. Dominique Malonga is going to be a great player. But we see there is a difference between a grown woman and a little girl. It's a 10-year difference. And 10 years, most of the years that Dominique Malonga has been alive, Asia Wilson has had championships in college, MVP. She won a championship. She's been an Olympic gold medalist. And the last game they played, game 2, they kept, Dominique Malonga is stopping Asia Wilson. They need to stop. Asia Wilson stopped herself. She did not stop Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson got anything she wanted. Anything she wanted. She dominated Dominique Malonga. Malonga had some good moments. She has some stuff she need to work on. She still look like she's 19. You know, she look like she doesn't have control of her body. And Asia Wilson is a grown woman. And Asia Wilson was dominating her. I don't know what you saw. What game was these fans watching or anybody watching? What narrative are you trying to paint? You trying to rush her into being a star, and she's not that yet. She's not even better than her peers. She's not better than Kiki. She's not better than Rivers or Anissa Morrow or she's not there yet. She's going to be a great player. It's going to take a while. She has things she had to work on. Asia Wilson is a grown woman. She got pushed around out there. Dominique Malanga. Asia Wilson stopped Asia Wilson. Let's just get it. Let's just get that clear. So let's just clear that narrative out. Don't crown her yet as being a generational player yet. She can. She's not there. She's not even an all-star. So that's take it one step at a time. Asia Wilson killed her last night. She tucked her in and read a bedtime story to the little girl. Okay, it's like a grown woman playing against a high schooler. Because 1 year ago she was in high school. She schooled her. So that's not saying that's not make Dominique Wilonga just all that. Yes, she has the size. And for the number 3 pick, you have to at least
Bluetooth disconnected.
be closer to the all-star. She wasn't even close to an all-star status. They didn't play her a lot this year in certain
Bluetooth
games.
connected.
So I don't know what the media, they really trying to push everybody but Asia Wilson. I mean, what do Asia Wilson have to do? She scored 1,000 points last year. This year she come back and just dominated in all the major categories. She's a defensive player of the year. She should be the MVP. I hope they don't do that cold MVP mess either. She's unanimous MVP. Head-to-head matchups. She killed Fee in the last game they played. What does she have to do to be the MVP? So Dominique Malanga has a good future. This is gonna be a good matchup, and she has to take care of her body because Asia Wilson gonna bring it to her again in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. So she better get herself together. How about that? Yes, yes. So we have a matchup um, of the Aces and the Fever. I keep saying I want to say the Dream, but the Dream messed that up. So you have Aaliyah Boston versus Asia Wilson, and Asia should win that matchup as well. She bullies AB as well. The key is going to be other players on each team. We know what Chelsea Gray is going to do. We're going to know what Jackie Young going to do. And so, but this matchup is really going to be interesting. She's going to be a starter, but one's going to come off the bench. And let me share my screen here. So this is for you, the Dana Evans lover, Goon the shooter. This is for you, Goon. This is your matchup when they bring Dana Evans off the bench. This is your matchup here. And I want to see this. This is going to be very interesting because there's no love lost between the two. And so this is very funny. So let me go back into it. So when they played against each other, one was on the sky, one was with the wings. Alex Sims was with Dallas, and Dana Evans was with the sky. And she said, "Don't ever come for me, period. I don't have any time to give little babies my energy. Babe, you fouled out in 9 minutes and you only stats were 6 fouls and 1 turnover." So I can't wait to see that kind of energy. Um, that's what's how that's going to bring the energy between those two. Um, no love lost between the two, and so that's very interesting matchup. Um, so the Aces should win that matchup. Um, Aces should win that matchup. I would give them a sweep. It'll be close games. I think the Fever going to give them a hard game. One game, the first game might be a blowout. Um, but we'll see. The Fever has really played well together. Um, they play like they have nothing to lose, which they don't. And Kelsey Mitchell um, is valuable to that team. She is the star of the team. Um, Even with a certain player, she's the star of the team. And we know who the star of the team is, and that's give Kelsey Mitchell her flowers and say, "Well done, Kelsey Mitchell, in this playoff so far." It's not Leah Boston. Yes, it will be help if the Leah Boston be consistent, but Kelsey Mitchell has really carried this team on her back. She didn't have to do it while yelling at her teammates. She do it with a quiet confidence, and she really shown why she's an underrated All Star. And just get to know who Kelsey Mitchell is. Kelsey Mitchell is the Indiana Fever, and they better keep her and re-sign her, because she's the reason why they are in the playoffs. And they had so many injuries, and they plug and play. And you can say a lot of things about Stephanie White. She's not perfect, but she's doing a pretty decent job, and she know how to do rotations pretty well. Which I see that a lot of coaches in the playoffs, these playoffs, are having a hard time, and it costs your team a chance to move on, and it will send you to Cancun. So the Storm and the Dream are heading home to Cancun, and we're gonna have a good matchup between the Fever and the Aces. And tonight we're gonna see about the Mercury and the Liberty, who's going to play the Lynx, and it's going to be a very exciting next round, just like this round was very exciting. So please like, share, subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please comment on this video. I'm on the road to 200. I appreciate any comments and subscriptions I get. So thank you for watching. I see you next time. Peace.